Hey guys, it's Will. So RedWire is one of the top companies that has been building out missile defense and also has revenue comparable to that of Rocket Lab. And they are 1/15th or 20th the size of Rocket Lab. So as you can tell here, RedWire is one of the top companies we've been covering for a bit. And not only have we really covered this stock from when it was around $4 to $5 just recently, now we've seen it up to around this $9 to $10 range. But we also cover stocks like this all the time. If you ever want to stay up to date on top space tech, quantum, and learn how to invest in AI companies and semiconductor companies, all that good stuff, then I would encourage you go join the 10K trading challenge. We just opened it up and it is now open for registration. It starts on Monday, and if you want to get in there and see the sessions that we're doing, where you're going to get to watch me trade a 10K account and how we grow it during those 5 days. Hopefully, we do grow it. I think we will. Then you can join in the first link below. It's free to join the challenge, and then have a look at VIP as well, as there's a huge upgrade for those of you guys that want to have a full guarantee of results. Okay, so when it comes to RedWire, you can see they've recently been selling down from this $10 price point. They are now consolidating and facing this resistance level around about $10 a share. Now, today, at the beginning of the market open, there's a big spike, and that was largely due to the ceasefire that was uh, published from the White House. And we saw at market open, a lot of stocks ran up this morning. We didn't trade anything today because we did see a big run up, and a lot of times you're going to see spikes at market open followed by dips after the fact. And so when we saw that big spike at market open, but RedWire stock is one of my long-term holdings, and we do like to trade them quite often. And the reasoning why we weren't going to pull the trigger this morning is, once again, they're facing that resistance at around 950. And then shortly after that ceasefire announcement from the White House, then you have the reality is that we got some confirmation that there's openness to the ceasefire, but right now there's nothing confirmed. And then after that, a lot of the missile defense companies, or just defense companies in general, didn't really end the day very well. So you can see that they've sold off. So a little bit here, market's still open, but we are seeing some sell-offs after that big spike at market open. So what's up with RedWire? Well, when we pull them up inside of Prophecy app, you can actually search them up, RDW, and we're going to open this up. By the way, Prophecy is something we will be giving to all VIPs in the 10K trading challenge if you want to get access. We can pull up this multi-model view here. And the first thing I'll notice, a lot of the news around RedWire, they did recently just sign a $12.8 million contract, but they also signed a $151 billion deal to be a part of. And so with that announcement, they do see their stock rise. They've also seen actually some bullish momentum from the Iran war. When the Iran war was announced, you have companies like RedWire that are in that missile defense get some bullish outlooks. And if you look at it right now, more institutions are buying than selling. You got Vanguard, BlackRock, Citadel, and State Street buying some more. And also, looking at the analysis here on Prophecy, you might say, oh, is the Iran war, like the fact that they're going to have a ceasefire, is that good? Actually, no. Like if we see that war fizzle out, which would be good in terms of, war just not being a good thing, is that good for the stock? Probably not, actually. I mean, you might see them grow a little bit more as a result of that war. But even those things in turn, let's just take a bigger picture approach here and kind of look at the financials in the market. So when you look at the financials of the company, they have tremendously good growth. You can look at their income statements annually. They've grown in their revenue from 190 or 130 million in the year to 2025. They did about 335 million. And then in the last quarter, they actually came in with $108 million in revenue. So they're doing a lot of revenue. That's actually very comparable to some other very large space companies. And they particularly are in space and defense. They're based out of Jacksonville, Florida. And they also, when I was able to meet with them in Colorado Springs, and I got to meet their whole department, their executives, see some of the deals that they're working on, I noticed that they had a big emphasis on space technology for surveillance as well. So there is some mentioning of the sensors in the mechanisms and some frequency systems, microgravity payloads, things like that, which are mostly in low Earth orbits, geostationary orbit. And when you look at their site and you see some of their movements they've had recently related to those types of deals, again, $151 billion, and then also a $2.7 billion deal. And then they have some other smaller $1 million deals here and there. Now, if you were to look at that 151 billion, for example, they're not going to get the whole contract, but they are one of a certain amount of defense contractors that are in that deal. And I think with the $2.7 billion deal, they're one of 13, maybe 14. And so what you're looking at is a potential for them to continue to grow. If they're at 100 million last quarter, let's say that they are able to do 400, $500 million this next year to potentially $1 billion very soon. I mean, their current market cap is still just at 1.64 billion. And their balance sheet, the cash that they have, actually the assets that they're holding right now, are at 1.45 billion, and their equities at $1 billion. So just looking at some of the data and the AI analysis of what we're seeing with RedWire here with Prophecy, I can tell you the market that they're in growing, the analysis of the financials looking good, the technicals. This is where things get a little interesting. You do have that resistance. I think this resistance here, I drew it up around 975. Let's see what they say over on Prophecy. Yeah, so Prophecy says 962. All right, so just a little more conservative, like right here. That looks about right. That's kind of where we drew it up anyway. And then the nearest support level for them right now, on the shorter term traders, what they're probably looking at, that $9 support level. So $9, that's exactly kind of where we were looking at it just now. It's where I drew this green line from, right here. So that's going to be at $9 a share. It's going to be their nearest support. So they're currently at 927, and they're hovering between $9 and 970. But really what we're looking at is the longer term trend. I am moving around a lot. Don't have my normal setup. Here we go. This is the trend that they're in right now, potentially holding and continuing a reversal, but that they are sideways from February, and they could potentially sell down further. I don't think it would make a lot of sense that they drop down to that $7 or $8 range there in their consolidation. I think that more than likely we're going to see some momentum building here as they have been, and continuing in their trend, potentially, up to these levels. I would look for them to get back up into $12 to $15. Makes a lot of sense for their valuation. Once again, as their market cap is so low, signed a lot of deals. So seeing them between that $12 to $15 range would be about a 60 to potentially even 100% increase on the stock if they get back to where they were just back in June 2025 or around this time last year. They were at about $26 a share. So down here around this $9 price point, once again, key to watch is that $9 support. If they do hold above that, then you're looking for next target around 10, 10, 15. And then if they do not hold $9, then there is that potential sell down to that 775 support. But overall, bullish momentum, even with, Iran war, things like that. Do you want to invest in a war company? It's not their main thing, but they do have some momentum, as that is part of their business, is that they do in fact have missile defense. So you're going to see a lot of, momentum. Obviously, we see that announcement, kick up the stock a little bit. And but just from a valuation and valuating the company, you're looking between $10 to $15 target. That's what I'd be looking at. And I do hold the company long term as well. And so I would expect this stock to be around $15 to $20. But again, that's just based on the financials and the market that they're in, and some of the analysis that you just got to see, along with some of the projections in Prophecy. See, some of the projections, at least from Claude, are up into that $10 range, and into 2026 here, $11 to $15 a share. If we look at the multi-model view, it's kind of similar. You got 18% year-over-year projections for some of them. Pretty cool to see that. And then you also have 20% projections here on Claude. But in the near term, we're looking at the next week. Still a little bit bullish, a little bit mixed here, you could say. On the short term, it's a little bit all over the place. All the models are kind of skewed in a lot of different directions. So we'll see. But they lean bullish right now. and they are leaning bullish into the next week, into the next 1 month. It's also a little bit skewed, but into the longer term timeframes, certainty gets a little bit stronger, it seems, as they are looking more bullish into the next few months, into the next quarter. So we're going to be using, again, one of the only ways that we found to be able to get really good information is to have all of the sources, like the SEC filings, the Congress buying and selling, the charts, the technicals, the news, all of that stuff put into the analysis. And that's one of the only ways that we found to be able to identify when a company may report earnings in the future that will be greater than what's expected, or that may surprise, for example, Wall Street. So with those things, if it's one of the best ways to grow is to not trade earnings, but have a good understanding of a company and know that the growth is taking place before those earnings come out, based on all the announcements and based on all of the data that we're able to compile around the market and around the company, so that when those earnings come out, it's one of the single greatest ways that you'll see large spikes and large increases in revenue. And not always does that indicate that the stock's going to go up when they have good earnings, but it is more of a weighing scale. That's something that you're going to see. It's not a price scale, it's a weighing scale, and it will weight to one side, and that's how the market works. And so if you want to, the single greatest way, the only way I've been able to do that is by building our own proprietary tools. If you want to get this in your analysis, we recently added full watch lists with AI watch list building, along with a journal where you can log all of your trades, and you get access to all the top market connections I'm watching in the technology, aerospace, real estate, could be semiconductors, AI, data centers, cloud computing, all these different markets you get access to inside of Prophecy. If you want to go get Prophecy, get some exposure to it, once again, you can get the bonus in the VIP when you join the 10K trading challenge that's kicking off next week. So if you haven't already, go hit the first link in the description below. Make sure you don't miss it. You can start using Prophecy, as you do get 30 days there. Appreciate you all. I hope I earned your thumbs up. Hit the like button if I did. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.